definition of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. It is about influencing others in a worthwhile cause. So just write down, leadership is influence. It is not dependent on titles or position.
Yeah.
It is dependent on people discovering their gifts and passions and then using them to make a difference in the lives of others. You are never the highest level of fulfillment. And this is like scientists and whoever, I don't even know what college did this study, but the highest fulfillment in life is when you are doing something to help change somebody else's life. So when we say Nerium is changing lives, we're not just talking about tangible. Why is that? Is that a word? Why does that not sound right? I have been taking too much smoke. I think black smoke tonight.
You're correct. Tangible.
Not just tangible. Thank you, Teacher Kate. Boom. It's not just tangible. When we say it's changing lives in the fact that I'm not the person that I was when I started. Now I'm a completely different version of myself. Hopefully, I truly believe I'm light years from where I was, and I needed to be. I was kind of Hot Mess Express. It sounds like there's crickets or something on the line, and it's not me. I am not on that bonfire right now, so we better figure that out. Okay, so highest level of fulfillment. You want to be fulfilled. You want to have purpose. You need to get into the business of helping other people change their lives, because there's no greater fulfillment. I loved that. There is something very, very contagious. And a couple weeks ago, we talked about enthusiasm, right? Being excited. There is something very, very contagious when you are excited about what you are doing and you have a high belief. Belief is everything. Belief is contagious. And I'm going to let Kate brag on her, but we had a new start in 22 days and hit her iPad. And it's not because she knew the ins and outs of 10 core and had been to 44 regionals and heard all the trainings and saw the PowerPoints and took a gajillion notebooks of notes. It's because she just was excited and everybody wanted to hear what she was excited about. She had an RP last week and it was like, kneecap to kneecap people. Like, it was crazy. I was trying to think of a funny body part. Kneecap was all I came up with. Sorry. So the most important thing you can do when you're doing your business is your belief. So that's why we say you work on you more than you work on your business. Start with you. That's why self-development is huge, because that's where your belief begins. It begins inside of you. And it is contagious. So write that down. Belief, nothing is more important than belief, and belief is contagious. To be a great leader, there's 3 attributes that I want you to write down, okay? One is you want to be a servant. You want to serve. Both of my parents were probably the greatest servants I watched their example my whole entire life. So I know what that looks like. I know how to do that. If you don't know what that looks like, you need to study the life or read about Mother Teresa or just people that lived outside of them. So be a servant. The second attribute is be a team player. Be a team player. I wouldn't be a very good leader if I couldn't work well on a team. So it goes hand in hand. You got to be able to lead the team, but you also got to be able to hang. I would always say this. It was Easter a couple weeks ago, and you always have people come into the church that didn't necessarily go to church throughout the year and whatever. I would always say this to people that came in, whether you were, came out of the womb with the Bible like I did, and you teased on the back of pews your whole life, or you never darkened the doors of a church. I always would tell people, hey, the ground at the foot of the cross is level. There's nobody better than anybody else. There's nobody, it doesn't matter what you got. We all have issues, right? And even though you're leading a group, you still got to be able to relate to the group. And I look at it as level playing field. That ground at the foot, it's all the same. Nobody's better than anybody else. I don't care what your demographic is, what your age is, what your experience is. It really doesn't matter a whole lot in this business, because it's not about the skill. It's about your belief. So stop disqualifying yourself. Somebody need me to say that again? You know what I'm saying? Stop disqualifying yourself. 1, it's not attractive. And 2, it's not going to get you anywhere. Yeah, well, I don't have as much experience as Tanya, really, because I came in and I was calling it Nexium. And you guys think that's a joke, but it was for real. I'm terrible with like not memory, but I just don't remember details like letters and words apparently. Um, I honestly had no clue what this stuff was. I had no idea how to get to my website. I had to call Brittany going, "What's the link to my website?" She's like, "Oh, sweet Jesus, this woman is going to drive me insane." And I did in other areas, but not necessarily um, because I was stagnant. Don't disqualify yourself. Have belief in what you're doing. Hey, Hulk, who's ever on the line that's not muted, for the love of God, would you just pipe down? Okay, so be a servant, be a team player. Here's a critical one. Ready? Be real. So be very, very careful. Like Amanda Thompson and the 5 questions that she asked, I think those are brilliant. I think those are great. It's starting block, if you will, to get the conversation moving. I know Jen Burr was using them today on somebody that's sampling. They work. But as far as the scripting out stuff, you can get the general idea of what to say to your prospects and what to say to your samplers and what to say to the person that you want to get on a 3-way call. But be you, be yourself. Add a little bit of Johanna to it. Add a little bit of Kate Stevens to it. But be real. So be a servant, be a team player, and be real. If we talked about this last week, if you see a need, hear a need, let's try to fill it. Let's try to fill it with whatever we can with this vehicle. If they're hungry, go take them to Burger King. For the love of God, you can handle $1.70 burger. Okay, just do it. Pursue excellence in your business. Now, a lot of times I hear that because I can be a little bit of a perfectionist. Okay, not a little, a lot, but excellence doesn't mean that it has to be perfect, but you need to shoot to do things well. That needs to be your number one goal, is to do things well. And that doesn't mean, and over time you'll perfect it, master the mundane, right? I'm way better at exposures now. Had a great waitress Saturday night. She was an absolute doll. I complimented her, not because I was going to expose her. I just complimented her because she was an absolute doll. And this cute little Asian guy comes over and he goes, "Your server has a great voice." I go, "Oh, girl can throw it down. I'm going to see what that girl's got." So she came back and I'm like, "So you sing?" And she's like, "Yeah." I go, "What you got? What you got?" And she kind of looked at me. She's like, "You kind of sound like an African American. What are you doing in a white person's body?" She really was thinking that. I know it. So we started talking. I'm like, "I'm a singer." "Oh my gosh." I'm like, "What else do you do?" She's like, "Well, I have kids." And I said, "Your boss just came by and said that we're going to be promoted to management. You should be in management. You have kids?" She's like, "Yeah, I have 3. I'm like, "Here's the thing. You do management. You're never going to see your kiddos." She goes, "I know, that's what's stressing me out." I go, "Well, you can work with me. I'm looking for people just like you to work with me." She goes, "Do you have a card? What do you do?" I go, "Here's the thing. This is what I want you to do. I'm going to give you my card. You're going to give me your number. All we have to do is have coffee. You can hear what I do, and then you're off the hook. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But at least hear about it, because you never know." And she was like, "Okay." And she was so cute. And I had given her so many compliments, from her lipstick to her hair to her. I mean, she was really a doll. And all that to say, who knows? But there was my exposure. But it was effortless. It was just have coffee with me. You can hear what I do if you're not interested. But I'm going to tell you, you manage. Good luck being around your kids, because it's brutal. And she had said the night before, her kids didn't get to sleep till like 1 a.m. because she had her shift, had to go pick them up from, family or sitters or whoever was there. And they were all crabby and whatever today. And she goes, "It was just a long day." And I'm like, I get it. I'm a mom. But there is an alternative. You can do this in tandem with what you're already doing. I said, "But what I do could probably get you out of your job. Would that sound good?" She'd be like, "Yeah." I go, "Yeah." And you're not going to make money, like significant money, unless you work for yourself. That's just how it works. The rule of business. You're not ever going to get filthy rich working for somebody else, because they're getting filthy rich. So there's only so much to go around. So that was my exposure. And guess what? I left going, "Bring me another one. Bring me another one. I got this. I got this." It is. It's kind of exciting. So shoot for excellence. But that just basically means, for those of you that struggle with, "I don't want to do it until I've perfected it," just do the best you can. Do well. Just do well. Okay. So 3 more attributes of a leader. And just what I've learned with Nerium is, people do business with people they like. My husband, Brian, is closing some life insurance on some farmers. They're cotton farmers, big cotton farmers here in this area. And I mean, thousands of acres, big cotton farmers. And what's one of the very first things Brian does when he gets into town? He sees these clients he's got, and they're spending a lot of money a year on insurance, like $50,000 a year just on crop insurance, like insane. Okay, that's more than most people make, right? And so Brian sees this. He's like, I need to get to know these people, right? Because people will do business with people that they like. So he finds out they love to golf. Well, guess what Brian's doing? He's setting up tee times, and they go golfing, and he will show up at their farm. You know, I don't think he's taking edible arrangements, because guys like that aren't really into the fruit thing. You know what I'm saying? But there, yeah, that was good. That was really, I didn't even premeditate that one. That just came out of nowhere. It must be DHT. And my dreams, oh sweet Lord. So he's not showing up with edible arrangements, but you learn me talking to the waitress. I just got a little glimpse at what her life looked like. And I'm like, oh, so you don't see your kids much? Yeah, not so much. Yeah, and it's probably going to get worse if you go to management, because your boss, and I recommended you for management because I think you're awesome. She's like, you're so sweet. Thank you. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. But you really needed to do business with me. And I said, that's pretty cool that I'm like fighting for you to want you to do business with me and not stay here and stay broke, or just over broke. That's what JOB stands for. JOB stands for just over broke, if you weren't aware. So 3 more attributes: get to know your clients, meet the need, but people do business with people that they like. To be liked, I know this sounds to be liked, you have to be enjoyable to be around. If you're not enjoyable, get joy. Okay? Get joy. I don't care if you got to eat joy vitamins or whatever you can buy at Whole Foods nowadays. Good Lord, they have everything there. Be positive and be loyal. I'm a very loyal individual. I think I got it from my parents. I like to be positive. I go sometimes, I can go south, and usually Kate or, Brian or my mom are getting the call. It's not always easy to be positive. If you're having a not so awesome day, don't air it on Facebook. If you're irritated about something, don't air it on Facebook. Facebook has never an idea if I'm having a good day or not, because it's always great. And I go back to being real. That's not the place to be real. Facebook. And everybody said, amen. Where your real is with your real friends. Just because someone's a friend with you on Facebook, it means nada. It just means you knew each other somehow, you're interesting and whatever, but it means nothing. We put so much stock. Don't go through your past posts and see how many likes they got. Nothing is more of a buzzkill than doing that. No one cares. The likes mean nothing, but a lot of you put a lot of stock in that. Don't go back and look. It doesn't matter. Okay? Be enjoyable, be positive, be loyal. Now, I want you guys to all rewind and go back to your childhood. Some of you, maybe all of you, watched Winnie the Pooh, right? Nod your heads if you watched Winnie the Pooh. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, my kids were never into Winnie the Pooh, but Winnie the Pooh's pretty cool. 4 characters in Winnie the Pooh. You've got Eeyore. Be writing these down. Eeyore was cup half empty, crabby pants. I hate my life. I'm going to go eat worms. Kind of just like, oh, nobody wanted to be around him. That's personality number 1. 2 is the neurotic piglet that was just kind of a freak show. I don't really know what he was. The 3rd is Winnie. You gotta love Winnie, who was a little naive, kind, generous, would do anything for you. And then you had 4th. Who was the 4th prominent character? Tigger. Okay, when Tigger made an entrance, what did Tigger do? The boy is bouncing on his backside. You know what I'm saying? Like, he made an entrance. There was nothing passive about that boy's entrance. And what I love about him, one is attitude, and write this down. Attitude will get you further than anything else. I will take attitude over skill and ability any day of the week. Skill and ability mean nothing. You can learn those. Attitude is key. It's key in everything. So, if you'd watch a show, what was the cool thing about Tigger? Well, one, he was always a party, life of the party, right? He was orange. There are a lot of great things you can say about orange. I mean, a lot of people like orange, but that's really not the point. His attitude was phenomenal. And if they would say, okay, let's go catch butterflies, what would Tigger say? That's what Tiggers do best. Let's go. I can do that. That's what Tiggers do best. Let's go collect honey for Winnie the Pooh, because we know that boy has got a belly and he likes to fill it with honey. You know what I'm saying? And so he's like, I'll go get honey. That's what Tiggers do best. Right? Whether he was good at it or not, he had a belief, because his attitude was freaking on point, that he was the best at anything he put his mind to do. So I left this leadership training that I got yesterday, and I'm walking to my car, and it wasn't like just a casual walk. I was pretty much pouncing on my backside like Tigger would, where I'm going, if I could get my team, this organization, the people that I work with, to get the attitude that that's what I do best. I do RRPs best. I do three-way calls best. I do exposures best. That's what I do best. And get that mindset where that belief is there in you, rather than you disqualifying yourself. When this team began 4 years ago, I'm feeling nostalgic, but just because it's been the 4 years. When we started, Elise, be careful. Those bad boys will slide right down to your navel if you're not careful, especially with you. They're straight down. You got no curves, girl. But anyway, so she's like, Tiny, would you shut up? When we started, it was just activity. We weren't even really doing it right, but we were just excited about what we were doing. That's what created the buzz. It wasn't the perfection of the exposures. It wasn't the perfection of half my people. I'm like, here's Nexium, and I'd hand them an Irium bottle. They're like, oh, this woman is on crack. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. And I'm chucking it at their heads because I was so afraid of rejection at the beginning. And a lot of you are like, I really don't see you being that way, but I hated the thought of someone telling me no and the rejection. So follow-up for me at the beginning was scary. And then once I got a couple wins under my belt, I was kind of like, well, come on, everybody's doing it. Why wouldn't you do it? You'd be a complete nincompoop to not do it. You got to do it, because that's what I do best, right? That's what Tiggers do best. So that's the attitude. So out of those four, no hate mail, no hate texts about Winnie. I mean, the guy's a cool cat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's just a cool dude. Piglet, I'm not quite sure about that one. Eeyore, I'm sure, can get some uppers and feel just fine in a matter of days. It's fine. But Tigger is what we're talking about. That's the attitude we want. And guess what? And Ashby's in here going, go Tigger, go Tigger. Yeah, she knows. I'm just rah-rah sessioning this whole family. Your attitude is better than your ability. It doesn't matter if you're the best at RRPs. Go do RRPs. For me, if there was a cure-all that I felt this team needed to get jump started, it's RRPs. If you're not doing RRPs, you are missing the Nerium train. And that's just all I'm going to say about it. That's it. That's where your money lies. And have that attitude of, that's what I do best. That's what I do best. Absolutely, I can do exposures. That's what I do best. And if you don't do it best, say it to yourself enough till you truly believe that you do it best. And don't disqualify yourself before you even get your foot out the door every morning. A lot of time, and I'll do that too. I'll do that even too with my workouts. Well, that's the point. Because I'm probably at 3:30 going to eat a cookie anyway. There's no point in even going to the stupid gym. I'll do that. And it's so terrible. I shouldn't do that. And I put on a Under Armour outfit shirt on today with every hopes of getting to that gym today, but my kids are off school and it just did not happen. So shame on me. Recap. I'll send out the definition of leadership. And whether you feel inadequate in certain areas or not, get on the phone and talk to us about it. If I don't hear from you on a weekly basis, and that's everybody on this, if you're not reaching out to Carrie, Kate, myself, Jessica, Noel, whoever it is, the person that you're working with, if you're not communicating via phone with them every single week, you're not being a Tigger. you're not in it 100%. You can say you're in it. Well, I'm NLC qualified. That doesn't really mean anything, because I've got NLC qualified people that I would not even say have 2 feet in the boat. Seriously. And that's not me being an Eeyore. That's just the reality of it. So just know, if you're not talking to your upline leader on a weekly basis, then I'm going to encourage you to do so, because we are in a mindset that you need to be in. And sometimes, and here's the thing with texts, I love hate texts. Southerners like to call. That's something I'm learning. They don't like to text as much. And there's sometimes I physically cannot pick up the phone. We always end up talking afterwards. But the problem with text is there's no emotion in it. None. And there is emotion in the voice. I can move you. I just had a conversation with someone today, and they're like, "You're so motivational. Like, you just inspire me and whatever." And I'm like, "Hey, thanks." And I didn't even feel like I said anything all that special, but there's emotion to the voice. So it stirs up emotion in the person you're talking to. It's powerful. So don't underestimate the fact that you may need a kick in the seat every 3 to 4 to 5 days. And if you just are like, I want to be a lone island and do this on your own, then that's fine. You can totally do that. But just know you'll get further, and probably have more belief in yourself, because that is something that I do well. I make you guys believe in you, whether you want to or not. That's just a gift that I have. I left Atlanta and they were all like, "Oh my word, I want to be a Facebook fake friend with you." And so we became Facebook fake friends, and it was totally fine. But they enjoyed me. I was enjoyable. Guess what? I was positive. What were the other ones? I almost enjoyable, positive, and I was loyal. Atlanta knows I'm loyal. I love Atlanta. But all of those things are contagious, and people wanted to be around people that they like. They want to do business with people that they like. So be those things. Don't be an Eeyore. Don't be Piglet. Nobody knows what that pig's doing. Winnie, he's all good. He's all good. I would maybe want to do, girls' night out with Winnie and just hang out at a bonfire. But I mean, as far as get crap done, Winnie would not be the guy I would call. I would call Tigger. I would call Tigger, because Tigger does everything he does best. So I want to encourage you guys with that. Developing the leader within you, that never should stop. And you always want to be refining. And I will not be one of those that does space repetition with you every single week. I promise. Whatever I bring to you is going to be fresh. It's going to be new, and it's going to add value to not just your Nerium life, but your life, because we all are other roles other than just Nerium. So with that, I'm going to pass. I think that was all that I wanted to say. I'm going to pass the mic over to Kate Stevens, extraordinaire, and rock it out, girl.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, hi, yeah.
Hey. I wanted to bring it super real tonight, so I brought baseball field dirt in my hair. When I turned my phone up to the ceiling, I sprayed in dry conditioner so that I looked a little prettier. So I did that for you guys because nobody else can see me. So, okay, 2 things.
Because that's what you do best, Kate. Dry shampoo. That's what you do best.
Well, and dry conditioner. If you've never used
dry conditioner.
You're not living.
Like
so you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I was gonna say I had 2 things to share, but that's lying. I have a lot. So the first one, and I'm not sure if she's on tonight. She may be at work. I don't know. But Kayla Carr just hit director. And yes, we say 22 days, and some of you are like, ugh, because you didn't. Guess what? It doesn't matter. But here's the thing. She never has been to a regional. She's never been to a market party. I've never even met her. It doesn't matter. Like, she's doing RRPs. She's having sit downs. She's excited. Her mom, Cindy, is killing it too. Like, they're just having fun and sharing Nerium with a new area. So it's all about having fun, lifting the lid, changing your mindset, and just saying, let's see what happens. I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to see where Tanya is. I'm going to have Elise. I'm going to have Kate. I'm going to have Marcy, whoever, answer the questions. And they're just having fun. I FaceTimed into a few things. Tanya FaceTimed into their RRP. They just put us to work, and they're not overthinking it yet. They text us with questions. So if you ever feel like, why can't I do that? Pull yourself out of the way, because I love all of you, but as humans, we are professionals at getting in our own way. It took me a week to get my stupid samples to the post office. You know whose fault that is? That would be my fault. Yes. That would be called self-sabotage. So we all get in our own way. So make sure you're taking stock of that. That's what we need to do. We all have to rock it out together. So that would be the first thing, is just woo woo to Kayla. But I just want to tell you all, there's no magic sauce, and you all know that. We just have to dig in and do it together. Stay really plugged in. I get texts from them all the time. My phone's here, you guys. There's a couple hours a day where I can't get to my phone, but you know I will as soon as I'm done. So that is the first thing. I totally have baseball mom voice from yelling. That's awesome. It sounds similar to bar voice, but I was not at the bar.
Kate, that's the best ever. Never apologize.
I said it's similar to bar voice, but not. So that's good. At least I was at the baseball field. All right. So we have talked about, really quick. This goes with Tanya's story. She was talking about her exposure that she did at dinner. And I texted Elise tonight too. I went to this little tiny, if you've been to Iowa, everything's tiny, this little tiny baseball field, this little tiny concession stand, because popcorn is my weakness and I needed it for dinner. So I go up to the concession stand and this girl goes, "Hey, are you still teaching?" And I was like, "And you are?" You guys, it's 30 minutes from my town. And I was like, "No, I actually stay home." She's like, "Oh, that's amazing." And I said, "Are you still teaching?" Because I wasn't about to say, "Who are you?" I said, "Are you still teaching?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm actually doing this." And I said, "Oh, how many kids do you have?" She's like, "Well, you remember I had him in college." And I was like, "Oh, college. That's where I know you." You guys, I don't look anything the way I did in college, just so you know. So the fact she could pick me out was amazing. And I said, "So what do you do?" She goes, "I'm a preschool coordinator." And she said, "But if I didn't have student loans, I'd probably want to stay home." I did not prospect her, but I said, "Are we Facebook friends?" And she goes, "No, I'll find you." I was like, "Okay, perfect." I said, "I don't want to take your time tonight, but it was great to catch up." Done. I'm not trying to sell her on Nerium at the ballpark. I had popcorn to eat, but I did just say, like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And she told me her why, people. If I was not doing this, I would do this. And I was like, interesting. I feel like being a preschool coordinator would be fulfilling, but probably not pay a lot. So it was just fun. Number one, it scared me to death that she knew me, because I realized I can't even hide in a small town near us. But it was cool. So just talk to people, just make conversation. They will expose themselves, which is kind of awesome. Okay, so Tanya talked about, we're going to do a 90-day run into St. Louis. And if you don't like the term 90-day run, then you can make up a cute name for it. Tanya's working on her cute name for us anyway, so you just relabel it. But I like the idea of running into St. Louis and not run like all I'm going to do is Nerium. I'm wildly out of balance, but I'm going to set a plan. Like if you're training for a marathon, or if you're, that's all I can think of, because that's the only ever time I've had a plan in my life, let's be honest. But for real, if you train for a big race, you print your little workouts and you follow them every single day. You don't go out and run 26.2 miles because you would die. You go run a little bit every day, and guess what? At the end, you get to the freaking race. So it's the same exact thing. We don't want you to go out and run 26.2 miles this week, or you will not be in St. Louis. Your poor little body will be tired. So you need to baby steps, a little bit every single day, and that's what we're going to do. So Tanya can jump in if I say any of this wrong, but for our week, and if you're still taking notes, if you're still with us, write this down, and I'll make a cute little graphic, but I have not created that yet. You guys, I took my kids to school at 8 this morning. By 9 a.m., I had a phone call that one of them was sick. And I was like, really? Mondays are my day off, people. But nope, we had people home today. So a little behind schedule on that part. So on Monday nights, your main job is Nerium University. We will do these team Zooms every so often, but they will not be every single week, because we're going to fill your time and we want you to have some time off, because this is not your full-time job. So Nerium University on Monday is your job at some point. If you know that you always watch it Tuesday morning, you do your thing. Tuesday is corporate call, 3 p.m. every time since Nerium got started. It's always going to be the same time. I mean, you can still text us and ask if it's at 3, but it'll be at 3. Promise. Just throwing that out there. Okay.
He's so sarcastic. Oh my gosh.
My own children are too. and it is awesome to see what I've done already. So their wives are in for a treat. So on Wednesdays, we are going to do Zoom market parties. So like Johanna and Morgan and Erica are like, yes, because you all may not be close to a group, but we got you. So I called Tanya actually right before corporate call last Tuesday, and I was in parent pickup, which if you don't have little kids, that's where I have my deepest thinking because I'm alone and you're just sitting there. And I called her and I said, I feel like we need to really hone in on how we can make this a true stay-at-home business, not a run all over every single week business. How can we make this a way for people to come home, relax, and still work their business? So for the people who are working full-time, for the people with young children that don't want to go out after they put kids to bed every time, you're already sacrificing your time. How can we make this easier on you? And more, if we're going to preach balance, we need to create those opportunities, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to preach balance and then say, you need to be at market party and have an RP and you need to be gone every night. Like, that's ridiculous. Okay. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but I'm telling you it's ridiculous. So we want to create some opportunities for you all to work your business without you having to invent the event, if you will. So, sorry, baseball mom. So on Wednesday nights, we are going to do a Zoom market party, and we will have usually 2 leaders both doing it so that there's 2 different people presenting. It'll be a Zoom like this that your people can hop on. They can dial in as well and just listen through the phone, but they won't see the slides. So I would encourage them to get on it like a real Zoom, and they can just block out their picture if they want to be anonymous. And that will be at 7:00 Central Time. Hopefully that still gives Johanna time to get some sleep, so we're not keeping her up late. Yeah, she's pumped. And hopefully some of our Pacific people can still get on. So that's 7 p.m. Central Time. That way we can still get it done and help get kids to bed and things like that. So that's Wednesdays. And like I said, you'll have flyers, but just so you can know, every Wednesday from now until St. Louis, this is the plan. So as you're doing exposures, you have something to plug them into. If you have people sampling, you have something to plug them into. And we're not doing this just so we can be like, oh, well, we did this for you. It's not, no, we're doing it for you so you can put your people on here. So let's pack it. I'm going to get my people on. Like, we want this to be something that we are all absolutely rocking out together and having fun and being home. If you can work a business from your couch or your bed, you are winning at life. I'm just telling you that. So we want our prospects to see that they can do that, because that's something that people want. Nobody wants another job, just like we've said before. So that's Wednesday. On Thursday nights, we are going to do a PCC. And that's sort of a lie because it's not a personal conference call, but it's going to be the same format as one. So your prospects can call in, and we will probably it'll be like, why am I brain damaged? Tanya took all the EHT and I didn't have enough today. The demographics, I guess, is what we'll focus on. So it may be stay-at-home mom. It may be for people who work full-time. It may be for yeppers, the under 30s. It may be whatever, where we share a story and some testimonies and then the product. And it'll be about 20 minutes. We'll keep it short. But when they
will have your product on that PCC. So if you've got people that have product that are probably going to go that direction, I would direct them there before I would the market party.
Yes.
Right, Kate?
Yes.
Okay.
And then but here's the thing, if you get someone on that call who wanted product and they hear something that's interesting to them, you have something that you can start funneling in for the next week. So it just keeps moving. This just helps us keep you moving and helps keep things going. The other thing too, man, my phone's heavy. It's killing my hand. The other thing too is if we do the market party online and you've got someone on and they're texting you questions, get them on a 3-way call next. Don't answer them yourself. And if that sounds bossy, it is my gift to you. Do not answer the questions yourself. Get them on a 3-way call. Because I have done a real life in-person market party where I have presented, and then I have called Tanya DeCapity and put her on speaker for 2 prospects that were interested, because they don't want to hear me keep talking. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they need something different. So I've done that and they've signed up on the spot.
Hey, Kate, you want to know an epiphany that I had? I was listening to the NMD call last week, and it's funny because the company even believes in third party validation so much that they third party us, NMDs. You always hear from a third party when you're on an NMD call. It's
Mhm.
never like, I wouldn't consider Jeff Olson being the third party, but it's always from up here in our, in our world. Third party works. That's why you have to use it, but you got to get yourself out of the way to be able to benefit from it.
No, it's totally, well, even my husband and I were arguing in public, shocker, not like a fight. We were just arguing and I wanted to be correct. And we were at the grocery store and the checker goes, no, she's actually right. And I was like, yes, you guys, he could have just fallen off the stupid truck. I don't know. But because he said I was right, I believed him because he is third party, right? He solved our little dilemma. So third party does truly work. So if you have someone who gets on the Zoom and they have more questions, please then just transition them into a 3-way call and say, I want to make sure you have the facts, blah, blah, blah. You may not have needed to hear that, but I felt like I needed to say it. So Thursday will be the PCC. And then Friday, Saturday, that's when you just get your samples out, get your
Did you say 8 o'clock Central on PCC?
Yes, 8 o'clock Central on Thursday for the PCC. And that will be a call at this time. So Wednesday will be a Zoom, Thursday will be a call. That way, some of your people who won't get on a Zoom, and this is flexible. If we feel like something isn't working, obviously as a team, we'll make some changes if we need to. But I think it's at least a start, and it's a consistent thing that will always be in place that will allow us to keep things moving. And it's accountability because we all have to do exposures to get people on. So, so Friday, Saturday, you just work on samples and your exposures. Obviously, we keep doing those. And then Sunday's the epic call. So that's kind of your week. And like I said, it's baby steps. It's little bits and pieces. If you look at your week and say, I'm going to put in 40 minutes on Wednesday and 15 minutes on Thursday for my events, that's doable if you really want to dig in and make some money with this business. So I'm trying to think what else I had on here. The main point though was just that my brain was like, when you feel convicted, like we need to do something. I'm the queen of not going to bed at night, and I just stay up and think. And if Tanya wouldn't go to bed so stupid early, I'd call her. No, she doesn't.
I'm definitely sleeping. Don't kid yourself.
But I would call her and be like, okay, here's what I'm thinking. But everyone I know is asleep, so I just stew about things. And I just felt like, I think Nerium's system is amazing, and I never want to mess with the system. But I truly believe that network marketing and direct sales is shifting to more at-home opportunities where we can do marketing, can do these. If the technology is available, why in heaven's name are we not using it for those things? And I think doing them as a team is very nice because you can plug someone in, and if your guest doesn't show up, it's okay. We're all inviting to it.
Well, and verbally, when you're getting your prospects, your friends, whoever, on these Zooms and on these PCCs, just say, I want you to see how we do this business. It really is an in-home business. This is why I love what I get to do, because I get to do it from home. Just get on and see so let that be your excuse. See how we do this. See how I do this.
Well, and you can say, I want you to see some of the people that help me and that I get to work with. If they're really cool. And at our house, they're going to be like, well, if they can do it, I can do it, right? Talk about real.
Exactly. I've heard that before. Good God.
Yeah, okay. But when I did a sit down with one of my prospects, she's in another company. Well, she's no longer. I wasn't like poaching. She's no longer, but she said, how much time am I actually going to have to spend on things? Because she said, when they say it's part-time and I'm doing stuff every single night, there's a million things. She said, I need to know how much time I'm going to have to spend.
Hey, Kate, I know Kayla made it onto the Zoom, but one thing that I thought was really cool, what Kate and I were talking, we were just rah-rahing Kayla and what she did and hit director, and, we celebrate. I get super excited when you guys hit these rank advancements. The cool thing is that if you were to ask Kayla, are you hitting director in 22 days, was that exhausting? Was it like having another child? I would hope not, but was it painful? She would tell you no, right? Kate, what did you tell her to do, and what did she end up doing?
No, I mean, one thing I noticed is it wasn't that she had events every single night. And Kayla, you can text me if I'm totally wrong on this, but she didn't have events every night. She had her RRP, she did her sit downs, and she just got the word out. But she was home with her babies. You know, she wasn't working on Easter. She wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
She has a 3-month-old, right, Kate?
Is she, I think 3 or 4 months old. She's a tiny, 4.
4 months. I mean, that's cuckoo, because at 4 months, they need their mama. You know what I'm saying? You're not going anywhere. So, I mean, that's insane. But she didn't have to exhaust herself to reach the goal that she wanted to reach. She was smart about it. She had 17 people at an RRP. Cheeks and seats, baby. I mean, and right there, I mean, that's volume. Any order that goes through, that's incredible. But the point is she hit director. She, hasn't even been in a month. And she would tell you, how did I do that again? Like, it didn't seem like it was that difficult. She's not exhausting herself to do it. It's doable.
We want this to be fun because life's hard enough. Let's just be real. We want this to be fun. So that's going to be kind of our plan. I'll send Elise presents and Elise will do it. No, one of us will make a cute flyer so that you have something to, don't send the flyer out to people, but so you have something to kind of look at. I'm a visual person. I love posters. I love quotes. I love all the things. So we will make something for you to look at just to keep it straight until you get into the routine of it. But that's kind of our plan. We just think running into St. Louis, but still keeping the balance of the 50 million activities that we're all doing every single day. This will help us stay sane, but still stay in activity mode.
Give you an on-ramp to direct your prospects to put them in front of us. And that's really what it is. Here's the other thing too. After you heard all of this, give us your feedback if you like the idea or not. I obviously want your feedback, but I am not looking for another thing to do. Just so you know, I know Kate isn't either. We're doing this to add value to your business and what you guys are already doing. So we want to hear your feedback. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you think that you'll utilize it. I'll tell you this, just because you know me, if they're not utilized, I'll pull the plug on this thing. We just won't do it. So use it or lose it. Okay. That's not a threat. That's just, if you're not going to utilize them, I have a family. So put us to work. I'm giving you I'm giving you the permission to put me to work, put Kate to work. And there'll be other leaders too that will do the market party. We've got a lot of Tiggers on this team. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they do well. Like and so it won't just be me blabbing and Kate blabbing. Not that Kate blabs, but.
No, Kate blabs. That's
yeah, she does. I was lying. She definitely blabs. Okay. So I want your feedback. What, Stevens?
I said it's how God made me, not my fault.
I know. Okay, look, Johanna already loves this. It's so helpful.
Pam loves it too.
Awesome, good. I feel like we're on QVC, like someone just purchased a purse. And oh, look, they want it in blue. Oh, I've never purchased anything from QVC, but this is what it feels like. This could be our cash cow of the area. Okay, so let us know your feedback. I'm glad to see y'all are gelling and life is good. And I will be gelling here on Saturday because that's my day. I can't switch it up. And from there, Stevens, is that it?
Yeah.
So we'll get about the flyer and I'll get you the definition of a leader. All right?
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all. And then I need this recording. There's a bunch of people that want it.
Thanks, Elise.
Bye.
Bye.